All right, guys, went back today with one of the ultimate AK-9s in the rifle configuration I've ever shot. This is the Palmetto State Armory AKV 16-inch 9mm Mokov rifle with the JL billet rail system installed on the front. And this thing is a game changer when it comes to competitive 9mm carbines, whether it be 3-gun, competition shooting, range use, or even personal defense. This is going to be an impressive and very well thought out option for all of those configurations and different scenarios. I want to give a huge shout out to Palmetto State Armory for sending this over to the channel for us to try out, as well as a lot of the AAC ammo. They started carrying this. It's available on their website and has been running absolutely great. So definitely check this out. And again, a huge shout out to these guys. Also want to give a huge shout out to Callaway Ballistics, because we ran a lot of Callaway Ballistics ammo through it too. The 9mm, not the 380, but I do want to let you guys know they have 380 in stock, 300 blackout, 223, a wide variety of calibers. They just did a price drop, and they've got a code 704 Tactical for free shipping on ammo orders over $200. Between these two types of ammunition, we put close to about 600 rounds through this for the initial first shots video. Don't worry, you will be getting an update video, and I will be putting much more through it. This is going to be like a 5,000 round gun easy in the next year and a half, because I absolutely love shooting it down at the range. And if you ask me, which 9mm rifle are you going to pick up for either personal defense, 3-gun competitions, or a wide variety of other tasks, this is going to be the one. I've absolutely fallen in love with this entire setup. And let me explain why by talking about the specs and features, going from the front, working our way to the back. If you want more information about this, or you decide you want to grab it, unfortunately I can't link to it in the description below, but I can post my campsite page. My campsite page is an aggregate site of all the best deals, and I put all of the best PSA deals on this. So not just this, but the ARs and the daggers, things like that, organized over on my campsite page. A lot of these are affiliate links, so if you decide to click on it, helps out the channel at no extra cost to you, just brings you right to the sale page. Now let's dig into these specs and features. So starting at the front, it's got a Lead Star Ravage muzzle brake, which does an amazing job of mitigating the almost zero recoil that this rifle has, and keeps it incredibly flat shooting and just rattling off shots right on target. It's got a thinner profile barrel, but just thinner compared to other higher calibers. For a 9mm, it's pretty consistent, and it does really dissipate the heat well. It's actually made out of 4150 chromoly steel, and it's a nitrided coating, so it's going to resist corrosion really well. A very impressive high quality barrel, and it really does just allow you to dump a ton of rounds and dissipate the heat through the entire system really nicely, so no issues there. Now this is a direct blowback gun, and because of that the gas block is not technically functional. What you're doing is having blowback onto the action, and then inside that gas tube is actually a weight attached to the bolt carrier group that allows it to cycle correctly, and that works out beautifully. We'll talk about that later in the functionality part of this review, but this entire system, including the fake gas tube, is surrounded by the JL billet rail system, and it extends past where the gas block would actually be. This allows you to attach a ton of different things, including lights, grips, lasers, accessories, and you can attach whatever grips you want on here because this is a rifle. You don't have to worry about hand stops, things like that. I'll be putting a grip on here, a tactical light, a few different things like that. So this is really going to be tricked out, and I'll do an update video on that in the future. It also has this top section with a pick rail up top where you can add optics. The sight radius in this guy, sight radius is pretty short, but it's actually really slick the way they've done this. So it's got a rear notch sight here, a front sight right up here, and you can actually co-witness this with a red dot, and it's got a monolithic pick rail attached to the receiver cover, which snaps down and locks into place and absolutely is rock solid compared to others I've seen. So when you attach the optic, you can get almost like a lower 1/4 co-witness to where this rides in the bottom quarter section of this optic, and you can make sure everything's co-witnessed and aligned. So if your optic goes down, you can actually still use your iron sights. On top of this, I have a Sealy T10. I've got more information about that, but it sits on that low profile riser and it mates up perfectly. We've already talked about the BCG and how it functions, but it is a blowback operated system, and this one was an absolute 100% functional with only one single issue. Within the first mag, I had a firing pin issue. I thought it was a firing pin breakage, but it turns out a small chunk of debris from a busted primer, I forget what it was. I think I was shooting some Tola steel cased ammo as well in this, wedged itself in there some crazy way. So when I was swapping out the firing pin with the new one, it broke free, and then about 600 rounds. Since then, no issues whatsoever. And again, 2,000 rounds to my other one. But I did want to note that. But I actually called PSA's customer service as me, not as 704 Tactical, and they picked up within like 3 rings. I was on hold for less than a minute, and they had sent the firing pin to me almost immediately without realizing like I was a YouTube reviewer. I always try out customer service to see how they're going to do, and man, were they helpful. All of it was free of charge, so even if you have an issue, PSA is going to stand behind their products. I had a great customer service experience with them, so no issues there when it comes to their customer service. So 100% functional, besides that one bobble with all of the brass Callaway Ballistics, the brass AAC, and I actually shot about 200 rounds of Tola steel cased ammo with no functional issues. It's cycled and fed great out of the CZ Scorpion mags. This truly has a last round bolt open, which is really cool. So after the last shot, it does lock open, and even when you take out the mags, it stays locked open. On the other side, it's got a tab right here. You pull down, it chambers the next round when you're loaded in the mag, and it flows seamlessly, ergonomically with your hands. As you're reloading the rifle, you simply slide it in, knock that down on the other side. It's got a tab release for the magazine. You can also check out my Palmetto State Armory AR-9 pistol review if I happen to miss something here. This one has the extended safety with the lever right here. It's incredibly smooth, easy to use, and as you can see in the intro, I went kind of safety happy because I really wanted to try it out and make sure it was working really smoothly, and it does. Probably one of the greatest additions to any AK platform is adding an ALG trigger, and they've done that to this rifle setup. It is one of the best, crispest, nicest triggers you can possibly put on an AK-47. Hands down, get the upgrade. If it's possible to upgrade yours, upgrade it, and this one comes with it right out of the box. So again, you are ready to go for like 3-gun competitions and rattling off shots. I can absolutely shoot this as fast as any other rifle I've ever shot on the channel, and that's saying something because generally I can shoot ARs pretty quick relative to AKs, but guys, with this trigger and with this setup, this thing is a speed demon. It comes out of the box with the MOE stock, MOE grip, and it's completely adjustable and swappable for any other stock you want. So that's a really awesome option as well. Internally, this has some really nice components, like we've already talked about the 4150 barrel, but this also has going to be a forged bolt carrier and a forged front trunnion, so it's going to last you a lifetime, and then it's got a stamped 1mm steel receiver. So again, it's going to handle all of those forces, no problem. Overall, guys, this is one of the most elegant, refined, and sweetest shooting AK 9mm rifles I've ever fired. This is not a gimmick. It truly has a lot of enhancements over what I would consider the AR-9 platform, but then there are also going to be some downfalls. This one weighs a little bit more than a lot of AR-9s. It's different ergonomics than AR-9s, and this one takes CZ Scorpion mags over Glock mags, but it does have the last round bolt hold open, the easy recoil. Overall, guys, I really absolutely love this platform. I do not think you'll be disappointed in it. All of the information will be on my campsite page. I can highly, highly recommend this. About the only bite to this entire process is it comes in at a little over $1,100. There are some variations under $1,000 without the billet rail system, but I think this is going to really make it, and I think it's worth the extra money, especially since you don't have to swap it out later, because once you try this configuration, the other ones are going to fall a little bit short, in my opinion, sacrificing different things. So again, all of the information on that campsite page in the description below. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.